you should have a vision yourself. AI shouldn't provide you with your vision for your future and your business and all that type of stuff. That's something that you should already come to the table with. You can't rely on that to just build out your whole business. That will not fulfill anything. It won't feel good in the long run. You have to really have your own passions and start with that.
Don't lose your identity in AI and don't let it limit your growth potential. There's like this huge Stanford study. The gist of it was a lot of people right now are struggling with getting callbacks, getting interview opportunities. And it's because basically they're all getting caught up in these 3 AI platforms and not ever really getting a chance. Welcome to Hot Tea with Uma and Bree, where we spill the real tea on sustainable business growth. Today, we're talking about AI. Depending on who you ask, AI is either the greatest business tool ever created, or the thing that's making every brand sound exactly the same. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Very, very confusing for all of us. Today, we're discussing how entrepreneurs can use AI to save time. So yes, it can be used efficiently, improve efficiency, and support growth without sacrificing authenticity. Oh, the wonderful world of AI. That I personally feel like nobody can really keep up with. Like there's always something new updates, new platform, trainings for said platforms.
Yeah.
I definitely love it.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like there's a lot of ways to use it. I think one of the things that makes me a little bit nervous is that there are so many platforms coming out. Just like you said, it's like you turn left or you turn right, it's something new. And I don't know, like that, and I think that's why we got to talk about this today, because some of it is starting to sound very, very familiar. So
Yeah.
I think there might be a lot going on when it comes to AI. Safe to say.
Yeah. I mean, I think it really comes down to number one, understanding for those that haven't really like gotten on the AI bandwagon. It's here. So it's one of those things where you might as well just use it. 'Cause it's like
It's here.
it's here. I mean, it can be a really great assistant for your business, really in your personal life. But anyways, it can be a really great assistant. And I think it really comes down to number one, doing your research on the different most popular platforms. There's Claude, there's Perplexity, there's obviously ChatGPT, Gemini, all the different ones. Understanding maybe what each platform's strengths and weaknesses are,
Yeah.
like what they're best utilized for. And then really to not sound so much like somebody else, like really understanding how to utilize very specific, unique prompts.
Yeah. I agree with that.
That's where I personally see where a lot of people kind of fall short, is not understanding how important that piece is. You know, but I know for my business, it's been a game changer. It saved me so much time. Also, there's this whole thing called like, I don't know, like decision fatigue, just fatigue and just thinking, like brainstorming fatigue.
Yeah.
All the fatigue in our mind, because we always have so many things going on in our mind, floating around in our mind, decisions that we had to make. And sometimes AI just helps with like just kind of sorting through all the noise and,
Yeah, I agree.
narrowing things down.
Agree. I totally agree. I think there's a lot of ways that we can use AI in our business, especially when it comes to, like content creation or, like you said, making things more efficient, support, right? Like there's so many different things. I know we'll get into some of those specific ones, but even let's just start with kind of like the content creation piece, because I feel like for me, that was one piece that I was like, oh, I've got these ideas, but it's taken me a long time to create the actual content. And so there's certain things that you can utilize that might help you to kind of get those ideas, like you said, from your brain onto, a graphic or whatever. And so there's lots of ways, because at the end of the day, if you want to use content creation for social media or whatever, or even for your clientele, and you are like the roadblock when it comes to the creation piece, sometimes you can use AI to help you to create that content and help you to repurpose stuff. I know this is something we actually talked about at the ASPDA conference this year, of like taking different coaching calls that you maybe have done or podcasts that you have done and repurposing using AI to turn it into a blog or using AI to chop it up into different pieces for, social media. So there are lots of ways that you can utilize AI that don't even include it giving you ideas. It's more of like you're
Yeah.
sharing stuff that you've already created, that you've already had your personal touch on, and it's helping you to just kind of break it down into digestible pieces for your clientele or for your audience.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's great for presentations, it's great for outlines, it's great
Hmm.
for different types of calendars. I mean, even
Yeah.
just getting all of the stuff that you have for your quarterly plans organized to where you're not having to spend so much time doing that on your own.
Hmm.
So, I definitely agree with you. I mean, content creation is a big one. I will say with content creation, that's where we can see a lot of,
Hmm.
similarities, like cookie
Hmm.
cutter things. And
Yep.
so it's just really important, with that being said, that you try to do a little bit of that brainstorming, so that way,
Hmm.
like you said, it's your ideas. It's just a matter of, okay, how do I present the idea?
Yes.
But I know for me, I mean, with just different speaking engagements, projects this year, I mean, it's been really great for my team, myself. It's
Hmm.
just such a huge time saver. For
Yeah.
me, anything that I can utilize to save me time
Mm.
and allow me to be more efficient in my business, I mean, sign me up. I will never go
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. And I think, like I said, I typically lean on AI on things that I'm like, ugh, I really don't feel like doing this. You know what I mean? Like something that in the past I may have had an intern do. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I can just, drop it in into nothing wrong with interns, y'all. But sometimes,
Ah,
it's more effort that goes into the intern than it does
yeah.
to your work. So it's like, oh, like I know a lot of interns might not want to do some of the back end, like graphic creations and stuff. And it's like, oh, well, we could also just throw this into, an AI or Claude or something, and it can create it for you. Right. So a lot of that kind of dirty work that you might not want to do, you can utilize AI for. And again, it's been great for us too. And one of the things that I know we've talked about on this podcast is like admin stuff. We've talked about creating y'all's SOPs over and over and over again on this podcast and making sure you're writing down all your systems and processes. Listen, AI can help you do that too, right? Like you can, jot down the things that you do. I've actually done this before myself and said, this is my process for said project, right? And I might say, first I do this, second I do that, third I do this, put it into an SOP, right? Like that's an
Yeah.
easy way that you can utilize AI to support your admin work that typically SOPs can take a very, very long time to do. It can take
Yeah.
multiple people sometimes, depending on what you're putting in it. So again, like sometimes it can be helpful to just be able to say, hey, this is what I have. Go ahead and turn it into what I'm looking for. This is the template I need it in. Go ahead and do it. Right.
Yeah.
Between that and like meetings, I mean, there's just so many ways that you can utilize it.
No, I 100% agree on that. I mean, it's like, again, I can't say enough good things about it. It's a time saver. Even sometimes it's just like, for me, admittedly, I will get like in a flow of saying, like, getting really wordy with
Mm.
something. Like, okay, this is
Hmm.
what I want to say, or this is what I want to put down, but gosh, there's gotta be a better way,
Yeah.
a more polished way to get out what I'm trying to say. And so it's like,
Yeah.
hey, like, pop it in. And it's
Hmm.
like, you know what? This is good, but I mean, I don't like
Yeah.
how AI, like, low key calls me out, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Um like, I don't need the
Exactly.
shade, AI. I was
Yeah.
just asking for
Like, don't
your
start today.
help, okay? But it really is helpful with that, because I'm just like, gosh, that looks so much better. That is so
Yeah.
much better. And I mean,
Yeah.
even with that though, you have to make sure that it doesn't sound too AI.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely those patterns that you can see within each platform. And, again, that's when
Hmm.
you kind of say, hey, make it sound like me. Like, I just
Yeah.
need you to make it sound better.
Yeah, I agree. That's so good. I think back on like before AI.
I
those
don't
of
know
us
what
that
I
are type
did.
A,
I don't know what I did.
imagine just responding to emails. There were times where I
Whew.
might have been like, oh, that doesn't quite sound right. So I'm sitting there, you know what I mean? Or like I'm writing a blog and it's like, what am I waiting on? Like this is taking forever, like I circle back to it, like let me come back
Yeah,
to it tomorrow. Let me get my thoughts, start on a
exactly.
fresh brain. And so I think back
Exactly.
on like, all the things that used to take me so long to
Man.
do, because you want it to sound really good and like polished and perfect. And so, sometimes because of AI, and I know we'll get into like where it falls short, sometimes you just start throwing stuff out there. It's like, all right, let me just,
For
and then
real.
you can use AI to just really polish it up. And so we have to still kind of condition our minds to like, okay, wait a minute, let me proofread this first. But yeah, it's saved a lot of hours, especially when it comes to writing and blogs and all
Whew.
that type of stuff.
For real. Like there's just times where I'm like, you know what? I can't take the
Yep.
wheel. Go on, take the wheel. Here, listen, here's my word vomit. Make it pretty.
Exactly. Like, do something with this. Literally. Oh my gosh, that's
Woo!
wild. Oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
so funny. It's the real.
Yeah.
So, there's the pros. Obviously, there's some things that, and, AI does fall short. I think we all know, especially as like sports, nutrition, and fitness professionals, our concerns, right? Like we've seen our clients say, hey, I got this tip and this meal
Mhm.
plan and this, blah, 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 just by putting it in ChatGPT. So
Yeah.
it definitely doesn't replace humans and our brains and our intellect,
Nope.
guys. It just
Nope.
won't. That personal touch, that personal experience, that feel like it's not going to ever do it. And that's
Yeah.
something important for all of us to remember. Like there is a difference. There has to be a line, a
Mhm.
boundary that we just don't cross.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's not going to replace any of that. And you can AI as much as you want to. But if you get in front of an athlete and you're not prepared to do your job, right? Like, I
Right.
think that's one thing where people can rely so much on AI, right? That we lose sight of the things that we've learned, right? And it's like, wait
Man,
a minute, you still have to read research. You still have to do these
you
things.
sure
You
do.
still have to, because at the end of the day, like, you still have to get in front of that client and do your job. So I think sometimes people can lean so much on AI, and I don't know what students are doing nowadays. So if you're a student,
Man.
make sure you don't lean too much on AI and you actually learn the materials
Whew,
because when you get out in the real world, AI can't do everything for you. It might seem like it can do everything for you,
I
but it
can't.
can't, and just like you said, like, it can't replace you as a human, your human touch, your vision. And I think that's one thing that I think is very important is like when you are in business, you should have a vision yourself, right? Like AI shouldn't provide you with your vision for your future and your business and all that type of stuff. That's something that you should already come to the table with, right? Because at the end of the day, like you can't rely on that to just build out your whole business, right? That will not fulfill anything. It won't feel good in the long run. I can already foresee it. You have to really have your own passions and start with that, right? Have your own visions, have your own goals, you have your lived experiences, your niches, and that's really where it should begin. I think AI should definitely be more of the assistant side versus leading in the vision
Right.
process.
For sure. I mean, and what a scary like time to be in. I was just actually thinking when you said that, like, for those of you that are students or just, interns getting ready to graduate, like, I can't even imagine how it would be right now.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Yeah.
to be able to sort and separate, like, this is what I'm learning right now in my
Yeah.
curriculum, in my, internships, my practicum hours, whatever. And then this is also how what's going on in the AI world. So you
Yeah.
got to be really careful too, because if you rely too much on AI, it will limit your growth potential
Yes.
as a practitioner and definitely as an entrepreneur. Like
Hmm.
you're going to hit a wall, and
Yep.
it's going to be exposed, and you're going to end up having a more difficult time, even though you think it may be easier, here and now. So just be careful with
Hmm.
that for those of you that are kind of coming up in this whole AI uh, gosh, this
Mhm.
journey. But yeah, I mean, it can't replace our lived experiences. It shouldn't give you your overall vision for your business. Those personal stories, that credibility just from living in life is huge. I can't
Yeah.
tell you how many times, like, I will have a recommendation, and yes, I'll have my research based and evidence based reasons, but then I'm also talking about, and this is what I've experienced in my experience or
Mhm.
in my kids or whoever.
Yep.
AI just won't do that. And so
It
it's really
won't.
important to make sure that, you know, you we just don't rely too much on it. That's just really
Mhm.
what it comes down to. And
Yeah.
people can really see it. Now there's all kinds of screening tools, and
Mhm.
I don't even know, you might
Mhm.
even know more than me, Bree, that's out there in which, like, people can tell pretty
Yeah.
easily, spot on.
Mhm.
Hey, you submitted this is completely AI, or this,
Yep.
you know what I mean? And
Oh,
so
yeah.
I know that they do that. I know that I've personally have interns that say that they've been accused,
Mhm.
or when they didn't even really do anything, but it's
Yeah.
like whatever
Mhm.
screening, like, I guess, software that's out
Yeah.
there, and it's just going to continue to become more and more of a thing.
Yeah, I agree. And so there are definitely platforms out there that screen for AI text and they screen for AI anything. And it's crazy because I
Yeah,
feel like they're using AI to screen for AI. And so,
which is
but,
crazy.
I know, like, it's like, how, no, wait a minute. You know what I mean? Like, that's not fair. But
Yeah,
it's out there. And I agree with you. Like, y'all don't lean on it too much when it comes to things that are really, really, really important, and continue to use your voice because that is like that's key. Only like you're the only person you are. Like you can't be anybody else. Nobody else can be you. So like you don't ever want to lose your voice in anything that you're creating. And like you mentioned those lived experiences. I'm going to be recording a course here soon. And one of the things that the production team was saying was like, we want to hear your stories. We want to hear your lived experiences. And I think that is always going to be something that connects humans together is that
for sure.
personal touch. Where do we relate? Where can I feel seen? How can I feel seen? And I think that takes us to the next like thing that we have to kind of see about AI and where they fall where it falls short is that like we have those relationships. Relationships still have to be nurtured, right? You still have to build community, you still have to lead your teams, you still have to build client trust. Like these are all things that you still have to do. AI cannot replace this for you. And even if you are using AI to help you to get in front of people or whatever, like you still got to show up as you, right? Because AI cannot replace you as a human when it comes to those connections and nurturing relationships.
Yeah, don't lose your identity in AI. I think that's just
Hmm.
the one of the take home
Hmm.
messages with this episode is don't lose your identity in AI and don't let it limit your growth potential. I actually heard on some sort of like news report about how a lot of business corporations are now using like three main AI screening tools for applications.
Hmm.
And I think there's like this huge Stanford study. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty, but the gist of it was a lot of people right now are struggling with getting callbacks, getting interview opportunities, and it's because basically they're all getting caught up
Yep.
in, these three AI platforms and not
Hmm.
ever really getting a chance. And I
Yeah.
think, like, I heard something to the extent of it can be like stuck in this loop, I
Hmm.
guess, this AI loop for over 300 days. I mean, that's almost
Right.
a year.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
now they're coming up with laws. Like, I think Colorado is about to pass a law on that.
Mm.
Like, there's a lot of stuff going on with AI. All
Yeah.
that to say, and you got to be careful. Use it for the right
Yeah.
reasons. With that being
Exactly.
said, transitioning into smart ways to use AI.
Yep.
So again, we've already talked about, using it as an assistant. I
Yeah.
mean, uh, save time, don't replace your thinking and expertise thinking, but it
Hmm.
can definitely save time with a lot of different processes of your business. We've already
Yeah.
mentioned quite a bit of some examples of that.
Hmm.
And I think that really comes down to, kind of looking maybe every quarter, every so often and saying, okay, what is taking up most of my time?
Yeah.
Administrative wise, what's pulling me from doing the things that I really need to be doing, and then seeing
Hmm.
if AI has a place to fit and
Yeah.
fill that gap to give you some of that time back.
Yeah, I totally agree. To me, hands down, using it as an assistant is the number one way to use it. Like, I totally agree with that because assistant support can, one, be expensive, especially if you're somebody that is, a solopreneur and you're kind of just getting started and doing a lot of things on your own. You're trying to set up your automations or whatever. Like, sometimes AI can support you in doing those things. I know for us, like, we updated our phone calling system, and AI helped me to utilize some of the different platforms that I wanted to automate things. So, like, again, using it as an assistant, so helpful. And I think that also takes us to, like, knowing what you want to do and how you want to use AI is the first place to start, right? You have
Right.
to start with strategy. Like, if you go into it and you're like, AI, tell me what to do, you know what I mean? Just like,
Right.
give me the vision. Like, no,
Yeah.
you have to provide that yourself and then say, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to achieve. And this is how I want to get there. What are your thoughts on this? Right. Or like, can you help me to create content from this said coaching call? This is what I want to communicate in this content, right? Like, you're
Mm-hmm.
guiding how AI utilizes the content that you provide, but you're starting with the strategy. Like, you are providing all that stuff versus starting with AI and saying, hey, you give me all the ideas. That won't work. So if you come in with your strategy and go from there, it'll be a lot more helpful, and it will help you to use your voice more so than AI using its own voice.
100% agree. The strategy piece is essential. It's critical. And I mean, if you guys think about it this way, it's like, what would you do if you were hiring an assistant, right? Would your
Mhm.
assistant just come in and be like, okay, I'm going to just do whatever for you? No, you would
Yeah.
be telling your assistant exactly what they need to do. You would
Yep.
actually have that in the job description as you are
Mhm.
looking to hire an assistant. So again, if you're going to be using it for that purpose, you need to have your ducks in a row, know exactly what you need it to do for you so it can serve you best, and that you're not actually wasting time in trying to gain back time, if that makes
Yes.
sense.
Because you will listen. Oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, if y'all go back to some of our previous episodes, we talk about going into situations not being prepared. It's the same thing with AI. Like, because
Yeah,
they'll spit out something for you and be like, oh, this isn't it. Like, this is not what
at
I was
all.
looking for. Try again. I don't know if you've ever typed in there, try again. This is not okay. I know I have. So definitely have your strategy ready to go and keep your fingertips on the work, right? Like, you have to edit, proofread, look at the stuff, right? Like, once it's created things, because it's not always accurate, and it will tell you, hey, I'm not
Man, get on
always
my nerves too.
accurate. It's like, oh, because there's times where I've looked at it and I'm like, that is not what I said, so I have to go back in there and redo it, edit the stuff. But it's the same as, like, what you would do with an intern or an assistant, right? Like,
Hmm.
you give them a project, you give them the
Hmm.
idea, the scope, and you give it over to them and you're like, hey, do this with this content. And then they create it. It might take a couple edits, and that's okay. So just be prepared to edit, proofread, personalize, do all the things, so that way you don't get caught up with it spitting out false information, because it will do that too.
And I will say, with that being said, I personally, listen, I'm going to be transparent and always keep it real with y'all, always keep it 101. I get impatient with AI. Like you said, I'm like, listen, don't do me. You know exactly what I said. My prompt was loud and clear. Okay?
Yes, girl. Oh my
Get it
gosh.
together.
Slam the computer shut. I don't have time for this today. Yes. I know. I know it, girl. I know. That's why I say, like, sometimes I might send off like a fiery message in there, like, no.
Like typing super hard and fast. I said that.
Exactly.
You.
Per my previous message, this needs to be
Oh my
edited. Oh
gosh.
my goodness, y'all. Listen, we're too much. We're too much.
But it's real.
Oh my gosh.
Tell Chatty that she needs to get it together.
Yeah, come on. Come on. That's my, yeah. When you stop saying please, thank you, no, period. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh my gosh. All right. So we've broken down a lot for y'all. We've given y'all the positive. We've given you all the, kind of the downfall, and we've given you some ways that you can use it smartly. And that's the tea for today. We don't want to do too crazy with y'all, but just know that AI can help you move faster, but your perspective, your personality, your visions, your goals, your relationships are still your greatest business assets. You cannot lose those. Okay. You are not AI. You are a human, and people still love human connection, contrary to popular belief. So use AI to support your work as an assistant, things like that, not replace what makes you and your business unique. Don't replace that, because people still want that. They still want you to show up. So if this resonated with you, make sure you follow us on the gram at Hot Tea with Uma and Bree. Join our community, because we're going to be
Yes.
talking about all the things in there per usual. We just extend these conversations from the podcast straight into our membership. So thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time.
See you guys next time.